is National Cookie Day, and that just left me a world of possibilities. I didn't really know what to make. I've made several of my favorite holiday cookie recipes before that you can find online. I've made my cream wafer cookies that are a family favorite, hot cocoa cookies, some soft gingerbread cookies. So I thought I'd pull another one out of the arsenal. I started making these several years ago when I lived in Colorado, came across the recipe, love it because it basically combines several of my favorite flavors. So today we're making lemon pistachio blackberry thumbprint cookies. A great, easy recipe if you're gonna be in some of those cookie exchanges coming up, or you just want something quick and fast, because we all know those cutouts can take a lot of time when you're icing them and cutting them out and rolling the dough and making them from scratch. So that's the other key here. I'm not gonna make these completely from scratch. We're adding some little, add-ins, so not starting from scratch isn't gonna make a difference here. I got one of these little packages where basically you just add butter and egg and then you're good to go. So that's what I did, mix this up. Now, if you wanna make it from scratch, go right on ahead. Okay, so we've got our sugar cookie dough here. Now I'm going to add in a half a cup of chopped pistachios, and I wanted to chop them pretty finely because we're gonna mixing them into the dough. So kind of smoosh that out. Our hands are gonna be our best friends with this recipe, folks, so make sure you have nice clean hands like I do. This is about a teaspoon of lemon zest. I find that usually is about one lemon, one medium-sized lemon. So I wanna get it all in here. And it's nice that you're adding sort of this fresh ingredient that really sort of, adds something to this pre-made sugar cookie mix, right? So now what we're gonna do, this is the best way to do it. You can try to stir it up, but really just getting in there with your hands is the best way to do it. We wanna get this all combined before we put them into the little round balls. So let me get to doing this. Okay, we have our cookie mixture all mixed up. All of the lemon zest and the pistachios are all mixed into this sugar cookie mix. So now what we're gonna do is roll these into fairly small, like maybe 1-inch balls, get them rolled up and then put them on some parchment paper, or if you have a Silpat, put it on here. By the way, I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Now, if you use the tube, I think it's 325, so just go with whatever the temperature says on the packet of cookies, or whatever you might do from scratch, which I think is usually 325 or 350. So I'm gonna get these lined up and then we're gonna move on to the next step. Our cookies are all ready to go. We just have one final little step before we put them in the oven. Now, of course, with a thumbprint cookie, you probably think you do your thumb. You can absolutely do that, but sometimes it's not a uniform hole when you do that, so I like to use a plastic, or you can use a wooden spoon as well, but this is so easy to clean. My little cat spoon here. And we're just gonna I'm gonna kind of press them down a little bit before I do this, and then put a hole in each of them. So once you get your little hole, and of course, this will expand a little bit in the oven as well. We're gonna take our blackberry jam, blackberry preserves, whatever. Blackberry has always been my favorite jam flavor, so that's why I really, really loved these cookies. So I'm just gonna take about a teaspoon. You don't wanna overdo it because it absolutely will come out in the oven. I'm gonna fill the little hole with the blackberry jam. How pretty is that? And we're gonna do that with all of them and then pop them in the oven. The cookies are all filled. Now we're gonna pop them in the oven for about 12 to 14 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. You want them to be a little bit golden brown. Don't overbake them. The thumbprint cookies are out of the oven. They turned out great. They've been cooling for a little bit because we have one final step just to top things off. We're gonna make a honey glaze to put on top. Very simple. Just for purposes of getting prepared, I went ahead and measured about a cup of powdered sugar into here. When you make a glaze, you can kind of eyeball it a little bit too. And then we're gonna add a tablespoon of honey. And I know I've talked about this trick before, totally a lifesaver in the kitchen. You just wanna spray with some sprayed it everywhere. Some non-stick spray your spoon, and the honey will come right out of the spoon when you're doing this. So I'm gonna measure out a tablespoon or so, put it in here. And then, again, you can kind of eyeball this. It's gonna be about a tablespoon of water as well, so I'm just gonna stick some in there. And then I'm gonna mix it all up. And once I get it to the right consistency, we're gonna sprinkle it on top there. Okay, we've mostly got this to the consistency I think I want it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this tablespoon, and then we're just going to drizzle it on top. Of course, I'll do it to all of them, but you get the idea. And there we have our lemon pistachio blackberry thumbprint cookies. So good. I think you're gonna love this flavor combination. Give it a shot. Cheers. Well, if you have an idea for a future segment, you can text us at 614-460-3345 or find me on social media.